We have a sponsor, and today's video is actually sponsored by an author and her book, which is the coolest thing ever. So listen up, stay tuned. We'll get to the video very soon. Today's video is sponsored by Sweet Memory by L.J. Evans. I have not read anything from this author before, but hearing about this particular story has me intrigued. 19-year-old never been kissed Paisley Kim is thrust into the spotlight as the keyboardist of a really popular girl rock band. She's also falling for her bad boy producer named Jonas. Paisley's bandmate and sister are murdered, and this threatens the band, Paisley herself, and her chance at love. That's just book one. The entire 5-book series, Painted Daisies, is available right now and ready to binge on Kindle Unlimited. If that sparks your interest, bitch, you can head over to Amazon right now and start your journey within the Painted Daisies series with Sweet Memory by L.J. Evans. I'll also leave the link to the book down below, as well as L.J. Evans' social media accounts if you're interested in following her and reading these books. Now, let's return back to the original video. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, super random, okay? Just like every other video I ever upload to the internet. Never planned, completely random. So the other day, I was going through my Coho collection. All the books I own from Colleen Hoover. And I was reading the blurbs, flicking through them, looking at the ones that I have read, the ones that I haven't read. And I noticed with my favorite ones that I had read quite a few books that are similar to my favorite Coho books that I actually prefer over the actual Colleen Hoover book. So I decided to chuck them all in a video today, and that's what I'm going to bring to you. And we're just going to talk about it, and I'm going to tell you to read the ones that aren't written by Coho if you haven't already, if you're looking for this particular Coho story again, but not written by her. Does that make sense? Did I just explain that in the most complicated way possible? Probably. I'm running off literally no sleep today, and I don't feel very good. Like, I just feel shit. I feel like I look like shit too. I'm getting my hair done. Let's talk about it. I'm getting my hair done at the end of the month, and bye-bye to the darkness. I know so many of you really like my hair dark, and it was a moment. I'm not gonna lie, it was a moment. But it washes me out so bad, which I already knew. I knew as soon as I accidentally dyed my hair black that I was gonna feel a bit washed out and just not my best when I have this hair color. So I let the bitch have her fucking moment. And we're gonna say goodbye to her very soon, okay? Switching it up. I need to feel good. I'm feeling shit. I'm feeling like not good about myself. Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to bring that negativity into this video. I just needed to let my bitches know. Okay, let's talk about these Coho books, all right? My favorites and other romance books that I have read that are on par. Almost better, most of them. I've got a lip oil on too, and it's just not comfortable on my lips, and I regret putting it on. The sun is also beaming in here. What's fucking new? Welcome to the hot mess that I am. Let's talk about It Ends With Us. It Ends With Us is one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books. Okay, it's not the favorite, it's one of. I really did enjoy this book. I love everything about it. It was quite a conflicting book. I'm not going to go into the plot and storyline because who hasn't read this book at this point? And, you know, the movie's coming out soon, so a lot of people have seen that and are picking up the book to read first before seeing the movie. Well, I don't know when it's coming out, but we all have seen the tragic images of It Ends With Us. This is definitely an emotional read, and we've got a little bit of a love triangle situation going on, along with some domestic violence representation, and it's a hard-hitting book. Though I love this Colleen Hoover book, I personally think Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan is much better. Hear me out. Hear my reasons why. They're two completely different stories, okay? Long Shot is book one in a series. The Hoop series, which is a companion novel series with 3 books. Each book is about a different couple, and it's set in the NBA world. I felt that Long Shot was more hard-hitting than It Ends With Us. I feel like the domestic abuse, the domestic violence, Ryle and Lily's relationship was kind of skimmed over, to the point where when I was reading this, I was still kind of rooting for Ryle. Like, hear me out before you judge. Even though those scenes that he abuses Lily are horrific and horrible. They just weren't written in a way that compelled me to believe that he was a really bad guy, like he was the villain. I read him like, fuck, he's fucked up, he's made a mistake. Will Lily give him another chance? Will he better himself? That's how I read him in It Ends With Us. Whereas the villain in Longshot is written like a villain. You don't ever swoon over him. There's no moments where you're like, oh, will the heroine forgive him? No, this is brutal compared to It Ends With Us, but I feel like it's just way better. It's more graphic. It's more, I don't know, realistic. The villain is never romanticized, ever, in this story, where I think with Ryle, he was a little bit romanticized. Even if Colleen didn't mean to do that, she did do that. Whereas this one, no, there's no fucking way you root for this guy in this book. Like, not the love interest, because there is a love interest in here, but the villain in this story. I feel like this has a bit more of an intense story as well, because we're dealing with a power balance between a black woman in a relationship with a white man with money. So that plays into this story as well, which makes it way more frustrating to read and also is quite eye-opening. The point I'm getting at is I prefer Longshot over It Ends With Us. And if you've read It Ends With Us and you're looking for something kind of similar but different, Longshot is amazing. This is the indie cover. I believe that these have been picked up, like the Hoop series has been picked up by Bloom, maybe? One of the publishing companies, and new covers are coming out soon. I do wish the new covers weren't flowers and actually had something to do with basketball on the covers, but that's just my personal opinion. I love Kennedy Ryan. She is a black author and she's amazing, and you should read it if you haven't already, because she writes some of the best romance, and it's raw, heartbreaking romance. Like, fuck, she's good, man. Verity? Verity is one of my favorite books of all time. It's in the top 5, baby. It's in the top 5. And when I read this, it was my first romantic suspense, more so thriller, that I've ever read in my life. So it was such a fucking time, and it got me addicted. I love a good thriller. I don't read thrillers all the time, but I love a good thriller every now and then, especially when I'm like slumping with romance and I'm not feeling the romantic vibes. I love picking up a thriller, and this is just so epic and so good, and I know it's very popular. I know a lot of people love this, so if you are looking for something that's similar but different but gives off the same vibes, The Housemaid is where you want to go. You've probably already read this because it is literally everywhere, all over social media. It's coming into the bookstores right now. If you want to find The Housemaid, you're going to find it on the shelves, especially in Australia, which is mind-boggling to me. But anyway, yes, I find these two go hand in hand, okay? Hand in hand, different stories, but totally the same creepy vibes. And look at that sun ruining my video. I've had to readjust. So hopefully you can still see me. I'm sorry for the sun. Let's continue on. Another one of my favorites is All Your Perfects. This is the old cover. Man, look at this. I've had this for so long. The pages are even dark. I literally just got lipstick on the pages. I know this one actually isn't that popular. Every time I see anyone on TikTok talking about it, they say it's not their fave and they don't like it. I love it because I secretly am obsessed with A Marriage in Trouble. And this is a marriage in trouble story. I'm sure you've read it. You're clicking on this video if you've read these books. I've got a few books for this. If you're looking for something that's similar to All Your Perfects, I have done a Marriage in Trouble recommendation video. I'll link it down below or on the screen here so you can click and watch it after. But I've got a duet and a standalone that I want to suggest you read if you enjoyed this. So we'll talk about the duet first. What He Doesn't Know and What He Always Knew by Candy Steiner. This is actually a trilogy, book 1, book 2. There is a book 3, but I never read book 3 because I wasn't interested in it. But this is magnificent. There's so much angst. It's one of those books that you get so fucking frustrated at the characters that you want to throw the book. I had a problem with the heroine in this book, but it was just so consuming and it gave off very much similar vibes to All Your Perfects. Infertility, marriage in trouble. Just with this one, the heroine's first love comes back into her life, okay? She's married, she's having these issues with her hubby, and then her first love returns to town and gets a job at the school that she teaches at, and then their romance kind of blossoms while her relationship with her husband deteriorates. You know what I'm saying. I highly suggest this if you love All Your Perfects. I also suggest, before I let go, another Kennedy Ryan book, just because everyone should read this, man. I love this book. I read this book this year. It's one of my top favorites of the year. It's so fucking good. I love it so much. I love Kennedy. I love Yasmin. This heroine, me and her, besties, okay? Besties for life. This isn't a marriage in trouble. The couple is already divorced. They're not experiencing infertility. They've experienced the loss of a child. So it's hitting quite a few different tropes in this, but it's definitely on par with these books, especially if you like All Your Perfects, and if you like this duet, go to this one. Similar vibes, but it just takes it home. All the emotion. Like, if you want to fucking cry, bitch, if you want to fucking shed some tears, like, if you're someone that struggles to fucking cry, and you're like, fuck, I just need to release some water from my eye sockets, then pick this up, because I guarantee you it will make you tear up. You may not bawl your eyes out, because I didn't bawl my eyes out, but I did tear up. And that's hard, bitch, because I don't cry in romances, as we know. I've said it a couple of times recently in my videos that I don't cry often. So if I get watery eyes, you know, there's unshed tears just chilling in front of my fucking irises, then you know it's a good book and it's emotional. Layla, one of my other favorite books. I was so surprised by this book. I did not expect this to be what it was, and I was very happy with the outcome of this book, and I felt like it was something super different for her, and I was just vibing, man. I was just vibing when I was reading this. So this book I find is really hard to give recommendations for, because if you've read Layla, you know what's up, bitch. And if I give out recommendations with the idea of this plot being similar to another book, then you're kind of gonna know what's in the other book. So, like, if you don't want to be spoiled about the next couple of books I'm going to shout out, then end the video now, bitch. Thanks for watching. But if you're looking for something like Layla, but not Layla, but something like Layla, but not Layla, not completely like Layla, but it's like Layla, then I suggest Pen Pal by JT Gessinger. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I read this last year when I was pregnant and I fucking loved it. So many people got mad at me. Unconventional romance. Get a dick up your bitch. This was phenomenal. Loved it. A1. That's all I'm saying, because I feel like with books like this, you can't know too much about them. Also, this book that I read like 2 days ago, which rocked my fucking socks off, okay? Rocked my world, bitch. I was like, what the fuck? This is so good. The writing in this book is phenomenal. It is a thriller. There's no romance, kind of, in this book, okay? And it's super different to Layla, okay? But I'm going to put it in this category, and that's Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. First off, the cover, okay? Fuck yes, this cover is beautiful. It's so stunning, especially for a thriller, because thrillers have the worst covers ever. But this one's so nice. The writing style in this, guys, I can't even. The prowess, the lyricalness to this book. I was literally reading parts of this out loud to my partner because I was like, you need to read how good this bitch writes. See, I don't really read for the words. I actually asked my mother-in-law, right, a few weeks ago, because she's a bookworm, massive book reader, has read her whole life. And I said to her, do you read books so they can play like a movie in your head, or do you read books to read the words? You know what I'm saying? And I told her that I was a person that likes to read a book that plays like a movie, where she likes to read books for the words that she reads. But this book, so I don't take note of like actual writing a lot, because that's not what I'm passionate about. I'm more passionate about the actual story. But the writing style of this author and this book, it was just beautiful. And the aesthetic of this, anyway, I need to put this in a video like right this second. So if you're looking for a thriller, please pick this up. I don't know if this cover's available outside of Australia because I looked it up on Amazon and Amazon had a different cover. They didn't have this pretty one because, you know, thriller fucking covers are gross. In this book, you're on an island, right? A small island that is like separated from the world, and you cross it when the tide's out. Once the tide comes in, you can't escape the island. And there's just this one house, Daisy's grandma's house on this island. It's like waves are crashing, it's like raining and dark. It's a whole ordeal. The vibe is just immaculate, but the story is also really good. Anyway, the point is, if you like Layla and you're looking for a thriller and not necessarily a romance, I would put this in this category. Okay, I would. This is way better though. No offense, Coho, but this is so good. And to be honest, I really just wanted an excuse to talk about this today. And that's why I'm here, because I want you guys to read Daisy Darker if you haven't read it already and you're a thriller B. If you're a thriller B, then you need to read this right now. Thank you so much. Is that all? That's all the Coho books and Rex for the Coho books today. I'm gonna go lay down. I don't have my kid right now, so I've been up since 4 a.m. Who the fuck gets up at 4 a.m. by choice? Not me, bitch, clearly. Okay, I didn't want to get up. I was woken up and then I just thought, fuck this shit. What's the point of going back to sleep when I gotta get up in an hour? And now I'm fucking exhausted. I am planning on reading some romantic horror or some shit. I found some books on TikTok to try and read to get me out of this slump because I'm slumping hardcore. Except for Daisy Darker this week, I've jumped from 17 million books and I'm done with it, you know what I mean? I need a good book. So I'm gonna lay down with a heat pack. And I'm gonna take my makeup off and I'm just gonna fucking read like no other bitch has read before. Thanks for watching, it means the world to me. I love you guys and I'll see you very soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Bye.